What's good, everybody? It's your host, Mr. 813 on my Kiwi, back again with another episode of Halftime with the Playmakers, your midweek partner with the live show, The Playmakers, which airs every Saturday from 12:30 to 2 right here at Florida A&M University in the studio of WANM 90.5. This is a great day. I'm glad to be back in the studio with the guys. Guys, how we feeling, man?
Feeling good, man.
Feeling good.
Yeah, man, we got a lot in store for this episode, so without further ado, we're just going to get right into it. So we're going to kick it off by talking about our own Rattlers for a second. We're going to talk about the men's basketball team. Not a great season by any means. We're 3-13 on the season, but we did capture the win against a winless Mississippi Valley State team. Guys, just talk to me about that game, thoughts about that game. Let's go into like the players, the points that they scored, and just talk about how we was able to come away with that win, or if that win was even a respectable win.
I'll kick it off. My thoughts on the game. I think Jalen Spears is actually a really good point guard. I think he had like 7 rebounds that game, and he led the team in scoring. I think he'd be a great mentor for KJ Parker, who is a freshman, and he has been playing well this season. He's been a bright spot for the team, and he will be a bright spot for years to come. Shannon Grant had his best game as a Rattler. I know Country has been vocal about Shannon's play throughout the season. He had 17 points and 6 rebounds. And then Keith Lamar, he looked pretty solid coming back from his second game back from injury. Crashed the glass well, had dished out 4 assists.
Yeah, Spear, to add on to those 7 rebounds, he had 19 points to go with that too. So adding into that notion that he is a true point guard.
Absolutely. And then last thing I want to touch on is, we did catch the W against Mississippi Valley State, but their bench had a total of 4 points. And that's one thing that I saw that really caught my eye. Like, you're not going to win a basketball game if you're only going to get 4 points from your bench. And our bench played pretty solid. Our starters played pretty solid. Mississippi Valley State didn't play bad basketball. They just didn't get no production from the bench guys. Yeah, it's a win, but that'll probably be our only win for the season.
Country, what you think?
My take is it's still been the same take every game. They just don't play together. The game shouldn't have been close as how it was, like Trump had said. It was just too many points that was left at the table, and we had a lot of breakdown on defense because Mississippi Valley State is not that good of a team, as we've seen. They're 0-18.
But what do you think causes that breakdown in our defense?
I believe that they don't communicate. And when they communicate, it's just like people look lackluster, like, oh, he's not talking to me. Or, oh, I'm not the one that's supposed to switch this time. You got to switch. Or you got your center who's supposed to kick out, and he just stands at the free throw line when somebody's at the 3. Lucky for us, Mississippi Valley State couldn't shoot 3s because they was open. They was just missing them. And like he said, their bench didn't give them no type of support. If the bench had scored at least 10 points, we would be talking about a different ballgame right now, because the game was close throughout. It got away. FAMU took away probably with like 5 minutes left to go in the fourth. In the second half.
We got 20 off the bench though.
Yeah, our bench was strong. I'm talking about their bench.
Oh, okay.
If their bench only scored 4 points.
Yeah.
So if their bench was able to give them at least 10 points, we're talking about a whole different ball game right now.
I would say on the positive note, we cut down the turnovers. 11 turnovers.
That was a good plus. And it's like we beating on a drum like, oh, we should be happy that we got a win, but it's like, look who you beat though.
We beat the worst
team in college basketball.
Absolute worst.
Yeah, but all things considered, it's not like they didn't put up a fight either. Mm-hmm. They had 2 leading scorers, Areko Gibson, who scored 21 points and 7 rebounds, and then you also had 19 points, 9 rebounds, 2 steals, and 4 blocks from Raekwon Brown. So they had players on their team that were actually putting up a fight. So this was a win that we did have to earn. Again, like I think we were talking about it before the show. Like I asked the question, how can you be 0-19? And it's like nobody just wants to be 0-19, right? 0-6 in the SWAC. Like they obviously put their best foot forward every game. And I think today was like last night, or that last game was just one of those games. And they put up a great effort, and they just came up short.
I guarantee Mississippi Valley State was looking at FAMU like this might be our only chance to win all season.
I don't know
about that.
Cause then it's like there's worse teams in the SWAC than FAMU. We're a 3-win team, but there's worse wins in the SWAC. Like,
you don't think they look at the same as Alabama A&M?
Or Alabama State?
Alcorn State?
Maybe.
I don't know, man. I don't know about that one.
But my biggest critique with the FAMU big man is you're just not they're not playing big man basketball. But last game was different. They did play big man basketball, because I guarantee you if they start playing big man basketball like they did, FAMU would be a different story right now, especially in the men's game.
Okay, interesting point. So from this point on, now that they do have a win under their belt, know, they're back in the win column. What does the rest of the remaining games of the season look like for the team?
I mean, they should build upon that.
Yeah, get the good takeaways from this and continue on it.
That's how I see it. Just build upon it, honestly, because you beat up the worst team, but now let's beat the good teams in the SWAC.
All right, so quickly, 3 things that the team needs to work on.
Shooting and turnovers and communication.
Rebounding, shooting, and communication.
Guarding the 3-point line, turning the ball over, crashing the glass.
I'll say for me, 3-point shooting for sure. We're a horrible 3-point shooting team.
We have one shooter.
Yeah, like I think we shoot below 30%, and that's horrible on any scale level of basketball, whether that's high school, college, or professional level. I also think we just need to ingrain that dominating attitude. Like, we should have beat this team by more than 20 points.
Yeah.
And that might seem a lot to some of those listening in for like a SWAC college basketball game, but it's not. It was really doable, but I just don't think we have that mentality. And another thing, just being better on defense and then maximizing on second chance opportunities when it comes to those turnovers from other teams. I feel like we don't maximize on those enough. But, you know, FAMU, they're back in the win column.
So
Can't really complain. The women are also back in the win column too. Shout out to the ladies as well. You know, we'll see as they continue SWAC play the rest of the season. We'll see what happens next.
We're back with our segment called Who's Next, where we bring on athletes, former athletes, coaches, and people in the sports industry. We have a very special guest, our very own from the FAMU women's basketball team, Olivia Delancy. In her sophomore year, she's averaging 11.6 points per game, 3.8 rebounds per game, and shooting 37% from 3. On behalf of Halftime with the Playmakers, welcome to the show, Olivia.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I'll start things off. Can you talk to me about your background about basketball? How'd you get to the game? What made you get so far in your career right now?
Well, if I have to be honest, it was my family, but more importantly, it was my mom. She always pushed me to be the best person I could be on the court and off the court. So I really want to take this time to give a big shout out to her for never letting me give up on myself and give up on my dreams. And she just coached me to be the player that I am, while also maintaining a mother-daughter relationship. And that's really hard, especially because she was my coach. So I really want to give a big shout out to my mom and just really say she was the one who really got me here to where I am.
If you don't mind, how long was she your coach?
My mom was my coach from about 2nd grade, because that's when she really was like, yeah, you need to start playing a sport, to about 6th or 7th grade, and she was just like, I can't do it anymore, but somebody else can.
So with that being a coach's daughter, how did that either build your relationship with your mama or kind of hurt your relationship with your mama when you was younger?
It was a little bit of both. My mom, like I said, now she's one of my best friends, but before it was she was very hard on me. And when I was younger, it was hard to perceive that she just wanted what was best for me. She just wanted me to be the best version of myself. I kind of took it as she just don't like me. I can't do nothing right. But now that I'm older, I really appreciate her for never letting up and just always pushing me to be better, because it helped me out in the end, and it showed me that perseverance is key.
So in high school, who was a player that you modeled your game after in the NBA or WNBA?
Do they have to be in the WNBA?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
There could be a street legend.
I don't want to say I model my game after anybody in the WNBA or NBA, because honestly, I don't feel like I play like anybody in the WNBA or the NBA. I honestly want to say I model my game after my older brother.
Okay.
And I just saw how hard he worked and how he gave all he had in every play, and how just skilled he was, and I really just wanted to play like him. And I would play against him, and I just be like, my gosh, it just always comes together for you. You always get the right shot at the right time, and I'm just that's who I really tried to model my game after. And I do a lot of workouts with my brothers, well, my older and younger brother, for that reason, because I just I love their game, and I just want to model my game after theirs, because they're my biggest inspiration, really.
Olivia, could you just talk about your recruiting process? I saw one game you had in the EYBL. I think it was a hoodie or a slides or something. It was something EYBL related. Could you just talk about your recruiting process and how did you get to where you are now?
So my recruiting process was a bit rocky. A lot of my EYBL gear, I steal it from my brothers. If they hear this, I'm sorry, y'all. I steal a lot of the EYBL gear from my brothers and my family members, because we're a basketball family, so we all kind of travel, and they played on the EYBL, and I played 1 year on the EYBL, so we just kind of go to the tournaments and we buy the gear, or they get the gear and I steal it from them. So, but that was how I got that hoodie. Really, it was hectic. It was rough. Like, I didn't get recruited straight out of high school. I went to a junior college before I got here, and it was one of the best experiences of my life. It taught me to grow up, and it taught me perseverance and how to really humble myself, truth be told, and understand that it's bigger than basketball. And that's how I feel like I got here. And in that recruiting process, I feel like my recruiting process was very unique to me, and I've enjoyed every step of the way because it's made me the player and the person that I am today.
So what is the competition like in JUCO?
It's rough. The competition is I feel like JUCO has a bad rep of, oh, it's just JUCO. No, there's some pretty big competition in JUCO. For instance, it was one girl I played against last year. She's on South Carolina's team now. I feel like people underestimate how many people actually are in JUCO and the level of skill in JUCO. And it's very tough. It's not easy competition, especially in the state of Florida, because we're known for JUCO, really, and it's a couple other states that are known, but Florida's a big JUCO state. And it was tough playing, and especially as a freshman, it was tough because it was some people come from D1s to play JUCO, and you're playing the best of the best, especially in Florida. So it was a tough competition, and I really want to commend the state of Florida for JUCO and how tough it was and how it prepares you.
So talk about Coach. How did y'all get to where y'all was at? Because Coach did come in late August. So speak about your recruiting process, how you got to FAMU.
When Coach came in, I was like, oh man, a fresh start at FAMU. I really want to go to FAMU. So when she came in, my JUCO coach, I was like, yeah, now that a new coach is in, I really want to go to FAMU. My JUCO coach knew Coach Gordon personally, and she said, well, I'm gonna talk to her. And then some other JUCO coaches within our conference were like, yeah, we'll put in a good word. And then there was a recruiting shutdown, but the day before the recruiting shutdown, Coach Bridget gave me a call and we talked on the phone, and she was like, yeah, there's a recruiting shutdown, so I'll talk to you after. And we didn't talk for that whole week, and then I get a call, and I can't remember the day, but I remember the feeling. I get a call right after I get done with my JUCO practice because I still think I'm going to JUCO. So I get a call from Coach Gordon, and she's like, I want to offer you right now. And I tell her, I say, okay, well, I'm committed. Can I come up there now? And she's like, wait, if you want to, and then you can. So I told my coach, I'm like, I'm committed. And then I was like, oh yeah, and I'm going. And they were kind of like, wait, you're leaving now? And I was like, yeah, I gotta go. FAMU is my dream school. This is what I want. I gotta go. It was a little bit shocking, and my decision still shocks me to this day because I tell everybody, I came up here for a visit on a Wednesday, and I was enrolled and going to school that next Monday. So my recruiting process was very quick, and it happened instantaneously, for me at least, because St. Pete is my home and that's where my JUCO was. So it happened instantaneously, and all I can say is I'm blessed. That's all I got. I'm blessed for the way it happened and how it happened.
You talked about Coach just a tad bit, but can you just go more in depth of how you guys' relationship is now, being deep in the season?
Oh,
that's a love-hate relationship.
It's more love. I don't want to say I hate. I don't ever hate Coach. It's more love, dislike. You never like when people get on you and tell you what you need to hear. That's real. But I love Coach because honestly, even when she gets on me and I feel like, dang, Coach don't like me, she always call me and she'll be like, I love you, and I gotta get on you. And it's just having that relationship with her. I know no matter how far I get off in a game, or even if I have a rough game, she's always gonna have my back. And it's never it doesn't feel completely like a business. It feels like she truly cares for me. I love her for that. And no matter how rough I have, or how rough I have it in a game, she's just always there to make sure I keep my head up. And it's a real love that she has for me, and I appreciate that, and I can feel it. And I'm sure y'all can see it.
We see it for sure.
We definitely see it. So it seems like it's the same three people that's scoring the rock, and it's a day-to-day basis on who's contributing off the bench. I know you coming off the bench a lot it has helped the team, but it's where are we supposed to see more of the scoring coming from?
I do see there might be a little bit of it's more out there, the scoring and the points. Of course you're gonna see the points, but my teammates, they contribute so much more than points and scoring. So it's I almost feel like it's the least I can do. Or my teammates, they give it their all, and the stuff that don't show up, the clapping and the cheering, and the cheering us on is really big. And even the scoring is big too, but it's the rebounds and the other things, the assists, they're not as celebrated underrated as the scoring, but it's really big what my teammates do. They bring just as much as I feel like everybody else does, even like with the inconsistent scoring. That's an issue, but like I like to give us that little, it's like we're still young and we're still learning, and we didn't get that competitive edge that everybody else had of over the summer going at it with each other. So I still say we're still learning each other and we're still learning how to play around each other. So everybody's not going to understand how to score with each other at all times. So I feel like those other stats really like help our game in general. It may not be scoring, but it's really big. Like the rebounds and the assists and the cheering us on, that really, they don't get as much praise on the stat sheet for them, but my teammates do a great job of, like, even if they're inconsistent on the scoring stat, they do a great job of picking it up anywhere else, even if they're having an off night. And that's really all I can ask from them. And I appreciate them a lot for never giving up on me or themselves within like the time of the game, because we have come up short a couple times and it was rough, but they always kept their head in the game and they always kept my head in the game, and they're the best at what they do, if I'm being honest, and I appreciate them a lot.
So how many years of eligibility do you still got left?
After this year, I have 2 years of eligibility.
So going into next season, I'm not saying the season is over, because I know y'all didn't have that full summer workload. So now going into the next season, how do you feel as though the team camaraderie is going to come together, knowing you guys are going to lose Ariana?
So Ari is a big loss, because right now I like to say she's our queen. Like she gets on the court and she just demands us to be calm and she keeps our heads on straight. So Ari's going to be a big loss, but I really feel like with our summer we'll be able to gain that chemistry that I felt like we lacked a lot of the season. We'll be able to gain that chemistry and we'll be able to build a culture of what Coach Bridget emulates, like that hard work, that dog mentality. We'll be able to build that culture over the summer. I'm excited to see what next year will be, especially with the prospect of having our summer and really being able to get in the gym with my teammates.
Olivia, you have 10 out of the 16 games taking more than 14 shots. I just want to know, and you have a couple games taking under 3 or 4 shots, or 5 shots, my bad. So I just want to know, like, how do you find a happy balance within your shot distribution?
Honestly, it all depends on the game. Some of those games where I wasn't as shot heavy, as I call it, some of those games I wasn't entirely locked in, and that was on me. And I appreciate not everybody, but my teammates and my coaches for their patience with me and figuring out how to really become really comfortable here. But I find that medium with like just talking to my coaches, and a big thing for me this year has been like my shot selection has varied and it has been a little off for me, I feel. So my comfortable medium is just listening to my coaches and trying to find my flow in the game and trying to realize, because I struggle with this, trying to realize like when my shot is off that it's okay to not have a on night and still open it up for the rest of my teammates. So it's really just realizing that and trying to find comfort and being able to understand that my shot isn't going to be on every night.
Follow-up question. Coming from your freshman year at JUCO to now, what is one part of your game that you think you've improved on since last year?
Thanks to Coach Bridget, I think I improved on my IQ and my shot selection, definitely. Coming from JUCO, I definitely had more of a scorer's mentality. I still have my scorer's mentality here, but I had more of a black hole mentality, if that's the word I want to use, the black hole mentality. I was more of a like, you pass it, oh, I'm going to try and score, or I'm going to basically die trying, which is a turnover. So I feel like my IQ towards the game has changed, not as much as I would like it to, but it definitely is like progress and it's incremental, and like growth isn't linear. So I still have my slip ups where I'm like, dang, like if only I was just a little bit more smarter about this play. But I really do feel like under Coach Bridget, my IQ has really grown and expanded, and I'm making more of basketball players' decisions more than just, oh, I'm a scorer and I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna figure it out with or without my teammates. I feel like I'm becoming more of a team player, and my IQ is becoming a little bit better.
Y'all have been in a lot of close games this year, so like, what is the message that Coach Gordon gives you after another close loss, like after every close loss?
I can't give you an exact message, because I can tell you my, like, how I perceive the message after a close loss is it's brick by brick. Like, she still shows a lot of patience with us, and she still says, hey, like, that was our game to win. I'm disappointed that we lost it, but our growth is there and you can see it, and I'm so proud of y'all for keeping up with it, but that was our game. And of course there's disappointment in the locker room, because we all know it's always our game to win or lose, and when you lose it's just heartbreaking. The message isn't like to harp on us, but it's really for us to understand like it's our game and we're right there if we just had that little extra kick and that little extra push. So it's really like to keep going, and we're building brick by brick, and it's all gonna come together.
from non-conference play to entering SWAC play right now, what have you learned about the team so far with this short amount of time just to gel together?
I feel like I've learned that my team is hard workers. We don't give up. Even if you watch our games, we don't lay down. We don't give up. I appreciate that from them because there's some games I'll be like, I'm tired and I can't deal with this and it's just so much pressure. And they're like, no, you got this. We need you. Like that, you can see it on the court. They're like, we need all of us. And it's not just we need you live. It's we need everybody to do their job and like be good at their job so that we can be good. And you know, we all struggle some days and that's when we come up with our losses. But most of the time, like there's a culture of we need you guys and we're gonna fight and we're gonna play hard this whole entire time. And I really think that can be seen. Like we play hard and that's consistent about us.
That's one thing I could say about one of our basketball teams is they do play hard. No pun intended. But I know you said FAM was your dream school. Like, what was that surreal moment when you got the first player Outlaws and you was like, yeah, that's where I wanted to be and I'm here? It
came after, I really think it was my first couple days here, and I was walking, and my dad's in the Hall of Fame here, and I saw his plaque up there, and I was just like, wow. And really, it wasn't even like, I didn't think it was a dream, more it was a answered prayer. And that was my surreal moment. Like I stopped and I stared at my dad's plaque and I was just like, wow, like I'm standing in an answered prayer right now.
Yeah, time out.
Who's your dad?
Wait a minute.
Let's get into that. Time out.
Wait a minute. We're just not about to just skate past that.
Yeah, ease past that real quick.
Like, who?
Could you say you came from a background of basketball, but you pure hoops?
My dad was a football player.
Okay.
Okay.
He was a football player. He was the black sheep of the family.
Okay.
He was a football player. Mom won in that debate. Like in the football versus basketball, Mom won.
So do you have a FAMU legacy family?
Oh yeah, my mom and my dad. My mom graduated from pharmacy school. My dad was a Hall of Fame quarterback here.
Who your daddy is?
Otiman Sampson, but his last name is Delancy, but they just never changed it here.
Well, breaking news, fam. We have history that we didn't even know about. I think, Jeff, we had to do our research a little bit more.
Yeah. I try to keep it under wraps, like make my own name, especially because he had a different name when he was here, so people don't really know it unless you know him in his recent years. So I try to get my own name, and like I'll tell people sometimes, but I try to really get my own name unless they know him or they know him personally. It's just like I'm here by myself and I'm here trying to figure it out, and I don't really want to use him as a crutch, but he comes up here a lot to visit me, so a lot more people are finding out than I want to. But
does he ever think about coaching? Because we have a head coaching.
Yeah, I'm about to say even head coaching, quarterback coaching.
He never made that call or anything like that?
I don't think he wants that kind of stress, if I'm being honest. He'll come up here and he'll watch the football team and he loves it. He loves football still, but I don't know.
Do you have any type of love for football?
I wish I could say yes, but
I've never seen you at a game. Like, I might see Ari or the other players here and there, but I've never.
Homework. I was just honestly. Yeah, I'm a bio major.
Oh.
So
I got homework Monday through Sunday.
I would usually have homework. I'd just be tired from practice, and it'd be hot at them games.
So how do you have that balance with school and traveling, whether it's non-conference play, you go to Michigan and in these other states too, now you're in SWAC play? How do you have that balance?
Especially with that difficult degree too.
It's hard. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, if you balance your time management, even with the time management and balancing life, it's hard. Like as a student athlete, it's even harder. Like that degree is hard without being a student athlete. It's hard. Time management on the road, when I just want to lay down after a practice, I have to do homework and I have to figure it out. So it's hard, but really, like, it's just staying on top of myself and telling myself, like, hey, failing isn't an option. Like, you have to pass these classes and you have to pass them with flying colors because you're a student athlete and that's what's expected of you. So
I remember I was talking to Coach, like, I believe, like, in the first matter of fact, when we had that Thanksgiving dinner, and she had hint like the life of a female student athlete is way different than the life of a male student athlete, because it was one lady from Clemson. And she was a TA and I believe assistant coach or something like that too. And she showed her day in the life, like her day really starts at 4 a.m. and ends at 12 a.m. in the next day. So what is a day in the life for you as a student athlete? And that's taking bio.
Well, it really varies. I'll give you my day in the life today. I got up today around 5 o'clock to get ready for my 6 a.m. practice. I left the house around 5:15. I went and picked up my teammate from phase 3. We got to the gym around maybe 5:25ish, and then it was time to get dressed and get ready to get on the court by 5:45. We practiced for about 2 hours. After that, I went and got something to eat because I don't eat breakfast before practice because it's too early. And then after I went and got something to eat, went home, took a shower, laid down for a little bit, and got ready to come do this interview. And then I have class at 1:30 and then class is over around 2:20ish, and I have film at 3. After film, I'm gonna figure out a gym to go put up shots in because we play tomorrow. So I gotta figure out a way to at least like try to get some muscle memory in. After that, it's homework, probably for 3-4 hours, and then I'm going to sleep and I'm waiting to play tomorrow.
So wait, speaking of that, they don't let y'all use Gaither?
Oh yeah, I'll most likely end up using Gaither because we play tomorrow, so the other teams are probably in town using Lawson for the remainder of the day. So I'll probably get inside of Gaither.
What do your workouts look like? Because you said you put up shots so to get muscle memory. Being a great scorer like you, what does your workout look like?
It's usually some form shooting, and then my dad, he comes up here and he'll work me out, and I try to emulate the workouts that he gives me. So I go to mid-range and he tells me you have to make 7 in a row from each spot. So I make 7 in a row, and then you move on to threes. Well, with threes, I don't know if I can make 7 in a row, but I hope my brother doesn't hear this because I tell him I make 12. I try to make at least 5 in a row from the 3. Or if I'm in the gym with one of my friends, like on the men's team, I have a friend that he gets in the gym with me. We'll shoot to make maybe 30, 40 from a spot, and then we'll do mid-range, and then we'll do pull-up jumpers, and then we'll do threes, and then maybe some ball handling, and then we're out of there in about an hour, hour and a half.
So one more question. I always wanted to ask a baseball player this too, especially collegiate. How does it feel when your shot is not going in?
Honestly, it's heartbreaking. And that's not even exaggerating. I know that's how it feels for me because it's like, how much work you've put in. You know that your shot is supposed to fall, and to everybody else, it just looks like, dang, she's taking a lot of shots and they not hitting. But it's like it's really not a good feeling because it's like they're supposed to fall, and you know that you've worked hard for it, and when they're not falling, it hurts. But it feels even better like when you can start getting your teammates involved and like you could pass it out and they make the 3, and it's like, okay, my shot not on, but hers is on, so we just gonna keep feeding her. It kind of, like, me personally, it'll give me like that high that I be searching for. Like when I hit a bucket, like my teammates hitting the 3, I'll be like, yes, because like it makes it easier on me, to be honest. Or like getting the bucket off me, like that's another high that I feel like isn't talked about enough.
Okay. Well, obviously, thank you, Olivia, to come in with your busy schedule that you spoke about earlier. Again, thank you for coming in on behalf of Halftime with the Playmakers. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
But we're going to transition to ACC basketball, guys. So I wanted to ask the question, my team in the ACC, I like, Florida State, we do it pretty good right now. We're okay. But guys, who do you like in the ACC? And who's a surprising team to you guys in that conference?
Surprising as a good way or a bad way?
Surprising in a good way.
Okay. Well, this hurts my heart to say it, but as far as ACC play right now, it's UNC.
Yeah.
It hurts my heart to say it, but from the year they had previously where it was just not regular for them to be bad to them being the best in ACC right now, it's North Carolina, respectfully though.
Yeah, they're the best team in the ACC so far. They're 8-0 in conference play. I mean, 16-3 overall. But
I will say this: the same position last year Duke was in, and they came out won the ACC. This is the exact same position. We started off hot, then we got cold, and then from February on out we was hot. So it could be Duke, but as of right now, it's North Carolina.
So I'm gonna tell you mine, and it's a surprising in a worse way. My biggest surprise this year was actually the team that I picked to go to the Final Four, which was University of Miami.
Really?
Yeah. They was
as in a
like,
bad way.
In a bad way.
No. Like I'm saying, like you picked them to go to the Final Four.
Did you see what they had returning back from a team that just came from the Elite 8?
Yeah, but
like for me, I believe in.
It's hard to go back to the same place twice. Right.
But if you got your hometown team coming back,
it should be no excuse. You're not top 3 in the ACC.
You started off ranked 13th in the nation,
and now
you are unranked right now.
Yeah.
And the level of competition that you've been playing has not been up to par until you got the conference play. Like, mind you, it's just like every time you got high expectations for the University of Miami, they always fold. But then we'll see how it plays out. But it's surprising in a bad way. Yes, it's been University of Miami.
For me, the best team in the ACC is UNC, and I don't think it's particularly close. I think they have a good combination. Well, let me not say a good combination, but they have obviously the vets, Armando Bacot, RJ Davis playing really good basketball right now. Elliot Cadeau coming off the bench, providing some playmaking juice that RJ doesn't provide. NC State's also a really good team in the ACC, but they lack a little bit of size. I think their tallest player is DJ Burns Jr. at 6'9". But they also have a lot of guys that contribute in a lot of different categories. But there's not a single player that jumps off the board to me. So that's my concern with NC State. Another team I want to throw out there is Virginia. I know Virginia, they're not the best team in the ACC, but they're always a consistent, steady team in the ACC. They always defend well. So that's another team I would keep an eye on, come March.
Nobody want to say Clemson?
Clemson's a bit.
Nobody want to say Clemson?
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm gonna say they disappointing as well.
I think Clemson's disappointing.
How's it disappointing?
Well, not disappointing because they're 13-5, but like their conference play is not good.
Yeah,
but Clemson is typically not in there. They're typically at the bottom.
That's true.
I mean, if we being frank, the team that's still surprising to everybody is like, when are you gonna become good again? Is Louisville? Louisville's the bottom of the.
I think you could throw Florida State in there too.
Florida State is doing good though.
They're okay.
Honestly, I think the ACC when it comes to basketball this year has been very weak.
It is, but then when you look at like the records going from like the top seed to kind of towards like the bottom half,
it's like right there, and they all like
everyone's separated by 2-3 games.
Honestly, everybody's not losing at home. Everybody's problem has been on the road.
Yeah. But
still, it's just like I feel as though my interest is ACC is the best basketball, but this year has not lived up to the competition. I mean, not to the competition, to the buildings and the expectation. But it's like we talking about like the SEC wise, it's supposed to be a football conference, but they looking really good over there in basketball. But when it comes to surprises, I definitely had to agree with you with Clemson, and then most definitely Miami. But Florida State doing their thing though. Hopefully they can stay right there.
Yeah, I hope so too. I mean, we took a L to Clemson, but again, I mean, Clemson has been playing good. They've been playing real good, so that was definitely a surprising team to me. Those were my two surprise teams. But
wasn't Clemson ranked? What was they ranked? 16th, right?
They was ranked in the top 24 minute. Yeah, they were.
Are they unranked now? Mm-hmm. I see it.
So of all the ACC teams, there's only like 2 or 3 that are ranked.
It's 2.
Duke
and UNC.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so I guess who do you like to come out of the ACC out of those 2 teams?
I like Duke
to win the
I've
ACC
seen
tournament.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've seen it once. I believe John Shire again.
I believe in experience.
Yeah.
And we have that.
UNC has a 9th year senior, and
Oh my goodness.
like he done broke every ACC record when it comes to rebound.
Yeah.
So I do still like UNC, but I think Duke will be their toughest test.
What about you, Trump?
I agree. I think UNC is gonna not run through the ACC tournament, but you're watching it. You're gonna see. ACC is the best. The UNC is the best team in the ACC.
We shall see. I mean, me personally, I can only go by off what I've seen in the past. Duke is notorious for coming out of the ACC, but UNC right now, they have the advantage. They're 8-0 in conference play, so we'll just have to see. But guys, we're gonna go on to football. We're gonna talk about the NFL. We're gonna talk about right here, right now. First, we're gonna review the divisional round games. It's a lot to unpack there, but then we're gonna talk about the conference championship games that's gonna be happening pretty soon, and we're gonna talk about first who's more dangerous, Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson.
And as far as what?
I would say who's more dangerous as far as
coming in this game
coming out of the AFC.
Pat Mahomes. It's to the point that you don't want to see Pat Mahomes right now, because it's like, granted, I still would take Lamar over him, but I don't know what's going on. It's just like nobody could keep this man away from an AFC championship game.
That's just like
it's like Jordan in the 90s.
I don't want to say like it's not that people can't, because there have been ample amount of opportunities to keep him out. It's just his opponents fail time and time again. They have
let me
or just don't make that extra play.
Let me ask y'all this though, right? When are we gonna start putting the blame on Josh Allen?
I've been putting the blame on him,
but it's like everybody keep giving him everybody keep using everybody else as the scapegoat, but Josh Allen.
I don't.
I mean, I know you don't, but
there was a play in the divisional round, that game against the Chiefs.
It was
Josh
like
Allen
3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, and Diggs was on a
crossing route.
Yeah,
but I saw saw Josh Allen's vision.
I saw the vision, but it wasn't there.
Yeah,
My whole thing to stop going for the big play.
and so that's literally what I was about to say. Like, it was there, but because his lineman hit him or like kind of like backed into him, it altered the way he threw the ball. And so the thing that Josh Allen has to understand is stop being such a gunslinger. Like, it is a big reason why you are as notarized as you are, like a big time quarterback as you are, because you take risks. And sometimes when you take risks, you know, you hit the shot 100% of the time. But in those situations, I feel like he should just have the understanding and knowledge to know, hey, it's 3rd and 4. Worst come to worst, it's 4th and 1, 4th and inches. We can go. We could just do a little tush push action.
Small plays.
You know what I'm saying? It's just little things like that. So to go back to what you said, I do put the blame on Josh Allen for that game because they should have won that game.
You had 3 opportunities when the score was 27-24 to do something with the ball. You even had the ball for 9 plays just to get 9 yards.
I think they just bailed out. They just bailed out the Chiefs again.
I honestly do think so too, but it's like Pat Mahomes still had a good game. But speaking of the Chiefs, I'm honestly tired of watching football at this point because every time Travis Kelce catches a 1-yard pass, we get a Taylor. I'm like, we get it.
You got to think about it, man. It's for ratings though, but it is annoying.
It's just annoying. Like, it's not even just because your team's not playing. It's just the fact that, bro, it's just a catch. Like, whatever he does, where's Taylor Swift? And it's not to ruin football.
You gotta think about
watching the Chiefs play.
You got to think about the demographic of like people that watch football in America. That is like, it's majority
men.
Not even that. It's majority Caucasian, Caucasian male or female. So Taylor Swift is kind of like the equivalent to them, like Beyonce is to our people in our culture, right? So it's great marketing. It's just annoying.
Yeah,
it's just very annoying, but it makes sense. I understand it.
To your question, I'm saying Lamar.
I say Lamar too.
This is probably Lamar's arguably his best weapons he's had. He's playing at a high caliber level right now, and it's like you cannot predict if he's going to really throw the ball or if he's going to run. And usually you can predict when he's going to run. You can't now at this point.
And that right there is why I got them going to the Super Bowl, because I just don't see Kansas City's defense being able to.
I don't see it either.
I don't see them being able to pinpoint when he's going to run.
Pistol action. Now it's no more pistol action. It's shotgun motion. Now
RPOs.
You really have to figure out.
Like,
bro, do y'all understand Lamar's story is about to go crazy?
Yeah, they told that man.
They told him he wasn't a quarterback. He should play running back. He should play wide receiver. He told him. He said, I'm going to bring a bowl. Just watch. Now he about to have 2 MVPs.
Mm-hmm.
He about to probably even go win a Super Bowl. So it's like, Lamar really, he dangerous.
I think Lamar is dangerous too because he just finally understands how to play the game his way in that system.
Shout out Todd Monken.
And it makes the other players around him better. You see Zay Flowers excelling as a rookie wide receiver. He don't even look like a rookie, bro. Like, that's how good he is. Like, he doesn't look like a rookie. If you were to say Zay Flowers on the street, like, I didn't know him, I would be like, dang, like, he looked like a
Kobe
vet.
Jones running that sideline.
You know what I'm saying? OBJ is finally playing into a role that he needs as a vet that's already won a Super Bowl, a vet that can cultivate those young guys in that wide receiving core group and, you know, be able to make sure that they don't make the mistakes that a young wide receiver would make. And then the running game, like, you know,
Isaiah Likely,
come on,
playing
man.
big. Mark Andrews come back this week.
Exactly.
So I'm trying to tell y'all, Dalvin Cook is gonna have a breakout game. I don't know whether it's gonna be
I don't know about this game,
or it might be the Super Bowl. But Dalvin Cook's coming.
He is coming. Sherm, what you think? You've been real quiet over there.
No, I'm gonna keep my answer short and simple. I'm gonna just say Pat, just because I believe he's been there multiple times. I mean, obviously he's been there multiple times. We know what to expect from Pat.
Okay.
Obviously, it's hard to game plan for a guy like him.
Okay, so with that being said, we kind of touched on it earlier with Lamar's story, but are there any other quarterbacks heading into championship weekend that have the best story?
I wouldn't say a quarterback. I would say a team. The Lions had the best story.
But you gotta throw the Lions and then you gotta throw Jared Goff because LA sent Jared Goff to Detroit for his career to die. And look, he went to LA and he did what Stafford couldn't do. He brought that team to an NFC championship. I'm still kind of salty because Detroit got to an NFC championship game before the Dallas Cowboys did. And they haven't even won a playoff game since 1991.
Yeah.
A playoff game. Not a series, a playoff game.
I think one story that kind of stands out to me is not really more so the team, it's more so the quarterback. I think it's Brock Purdy.
I would agree.
I think Brock Purdy is the most underrated quarterback out of all the 4
Shut
remaining.
y'all up. Game-winning drive.
I don't know. Like, it's like what more, I watch more and more of like the analysis on him. I watch him play. Like, I watch some of the old games from even when he first was the starting quarterback for the team. And he just does his job. He goes in, he does his job, and he goes home.
That's my
Win or lose.
That's my issue with the NFL, right? It's like they pick and choose what they want to give a quarterback and how they want to critique him. Because if this was Mac Jones doing what he was supposed to do, everybody would be looking at Mac Jones like, oh, he's the next greatest thing since sliced bread. But Brock Purdy doing what he's supposed to do, oh, it's the weapons around him. It's this. I'm like, why do y'all want to take people away from other people just to say, oh, the quarterback's not good?
And I might just say this, just because you have those weapons around you doesn't mean you know how to utilize them.
Exactly.
Like-
Because they had Jimmy Garoppolo. You had Trey Lance, who couldn't even get you a win with them same weapons. So it's like, what are we talking about here?
You have to, especially Kyle Shanahan's offense, and I mean, Jeff, correct me if I'm wrong, but you have to be able to process things like quick.
Quickly.
Yeah.
Because the way Brock Purdy get the ball out of his hands is like, just like that. Like, it seems like everybody's open every time he throw the ball. But it's like, a quarterback still has to be able to get the ball to the player.
I agree.
I'm gonna be honest. I think every team has a good story. Lamar, obviously, like Country said earlier, they want him to switch his position.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick Mahomes, lack of weapons. A lot of people didn't think they would, make it to the AFC Championship game this year. Make it to the AFC Championship game this year. Detroit hasn't won a playoff game since '91.
It's not even the Detroit haven't won a playoff game. It's what they had. A lot. They count them out for week 1. They said, oh, this team's too young. Oh, this team got Jared Goff. They can't make it.
Right.
Look at them now.
And then, obviously, what Ahmad said with the 49ers, Brock Purdy wasn't supposed to be here. He was Mr. Irrelevant.
Irrelevant.
He wasn't supposed to be here. So just him, being in the MVP conversation throughout the year before that Ravens game, and then making it to the NFC Championship game, yeah, he wasn't supposed to be here.
I agree. So with that being said, what are y'all picks? Who are we going to see in the Super Bowl?
49ers and Ravens rematch the Super Bowl. And what Super Bowl was that in 2012?
Mm-hmm.
I like to see that again. But at the same time, I do want to see the Cinderella story of Detroit. I want to see them win because it's like yo, like bro, y'all not won anything in years.
Facts.
So it's like it'll be nice. The basketball team is garbage, so the football team being good will probably help the city out a little bit. You heard me?
Plus, Michigan just got a national
championship too, yo.
I think they're going to make the script come true. I think we're going to see a 49ers Ravens rematch. The only reason I say that is because I just don't see the Lions being in San Francisco. I don't. Shoot, the Packers almost beat them, and that's another team, like, we're not going to get into it, but that's another team that really should be in the championship.
Yeah.
We know we can get into it.
Like,
Nah, we get into it because Jordan Love it.
the man played great.
First half, he
first
played
half.
great.
Jesus.
Like,
Second half was a different story.
and then it was just like kickers be selling.
Yeah, man. It's bad. It's real bad. But, again, we ain't going to get too much into it. Trent, what's your picks? Who you going to have in the championship?
I'm gonna go Kansas City and Detroit.
In the Super Bowl?
Yeah, in the Super Bowl.
Sheesh.
A rematch of week
You got them beating, like, you realistically have them beating the Ravens, though?
Mm-hmm.
How?
I think it'll be a close game.
But, like, how? Like, what's their
They don't have the
determining factor?
linebacker for Kansas City that can spy on Lamar.
I just think, like I said, we haven't seen Lamar, so it's just going off of
We did see him, though.
we've seen him. We have seen Lamar throughout the regular season. We've seen him last week against the Texans, but I think having that experience on the Chiefs offense with Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, and then having that defense that rises to the occasion in the playoffs with Spags calling plays.
You know they got to go to Baltimore, right?
Absolutely.
And Baltimore is nuts. Like,
Okay, like
the Bills was nuts,
The Bills is nuts, but
but
like
Baltimore is different.
Baltimore, they get down, bruh.
Baltimore is different.
I don't
If
know.
it was in Kansas City, I'm definitely going with the Chiefs.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
The fact that it's
Okay,
the
yeah.
fact that this isn't Baltimore, it gives Lamar an upper hand because Lamar does not lose at home.
He doesn't.
Well, did he lose against Tennessee? That home
Oh
game?
yeah, that was.
That was probably the only time he's lost in the playoffs at home was Tennessee. Was that time?
I think that was his only home
that's
playoff game.
yeah, it's the only home playoff game he's lost. Yeah.
But
Me
he-
personally,
He got to get back though.
I'm nervous. Detroit's nice. I'm nervous. They're up there with the Packers. I'm still taking the Niners. I trust my team. We're going to get back defensively. And then I'm going to take the Ravens. I love the Ravens. I love Lamar. I need my get back. So, yeah, I'm taking those two.
Okay, good picks, man. Hey, make sure you write those picks down, Jeff.
Oh, I got it.
I think I'm still.
Everybody's similar, but Trim, so it's easy.
Yeah, I think I'm still leading everybody 8-2. My Bucks let me down, and of course,
Country, where you at?
Josh Allen let me down.
I think I'm at the bottom. I think every pick that I picked last week did not come.
No, you got one with the Niners.
Oh, that was the only one.
Bro,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really had to. Who did I pick? The Niners?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I was smart. I didn't want to bet against Brock Purdy for real.
I picked the Texans to beat the Ravens.
I did too,
the
though.
Bills to beat the
I did too.
the Chiefs, and I picked the Bucks to beat the
Yeah, I didn't go that route.
They could have.
But I wish the Bucks would have won because we would have blown the doors off the Bucks.
I don't think so.
Yes,
It's hard to blow out a team twice, bro.
Yes, we would, respectfully.
The Lions didn't blow us out.
It's the Lions.
But you
here he
talking about
go.
them.
Here he go.
It's
He's
the
like,
Lions.
he's like, it's the Lions. But I'm so nervous.
I'm so nervous.
But I am though slick.
All right, bro.
Boys,
They look good.
Anyway, bro. Hey, fellas, man, we gonna see what comes to fruition on championship weekend. Picks locked in. Jeff keeping score. I'm currently leading everybody 8-2 right now. I just want to put that out there. But we gonna transition to NBA, guys. So I'm gonna just put it simply. Let's just make it simple. Who is our winners and losers so far in the season right now?
Can we talk about who was the loser yesterday?
Yeah,
Boy, that boy Wemby. Lord. Lord.
bro.
33 points.
Bro, can I just say
Versus 70.
Can I just say
70
that's
and
the most
16. 70 and 18.
Can I just say that's the most casual 70 points I've ever seen.
He did it so effortlessly, bro.
Like, bro.
It's like, did he even drop a sweat?
Bro, it didn't
But-
look like it.
But you remember what a lot of people kept saying about Wemby in the beginning of the season?
Mm-hmm.
He's too small.
Yeah, he's definitely
and
small.
Embiid just bodied him the
First
whole
possession
game.
came out there.
It looked like Wemby couldn't even, after Embiid put his body on him, Wemby could not even jump. Like, you 7'4". Like, but it's I don't know, man. 70, like, for a center to drop. That's the other conversation that we had to have. Is Embiid actually the best scoring center of all time?
I don't know because he
I
gets
don't
to a
know.
line
Just look
he gets
at-
to a
just
line
look
at least
at
like
his-
12 times a game.
Just
so
look
I
at
don't
his
know.
bag. Just look at his bag.
Yeah.
I understand that.
He's coming up,
He has
pulling up.
3-point shooting.
Yes.
He has a mid game.
He has a post game. He has a major drop step.
He's not missing anything in his game. He's no
He has everything. So like
Yeah.
what can you say? Like, okay, we gotta let Embiid do that. Go left. He'll happily go left. Oh, go right. He gonna do a step back. Like what you want from him? He's a big man, KD, and he can dribble.
It's just like, dang, like they're so good, but they're not good enough.
Embiid
Like,
played-
really let that sink in.
Listen, Embiid played so good that people didn't even realize Cat had 62 last night.
In a loss though.
But
in a loss.
still,
Crazy.
And he only had 4 points in the fourth quarter.
oh,
Yeah. So Cat really wasn't like he was hooping for them
Bro,
three
just
quarters.
the only man I know that could discredit a 60 piece.
I mean, he got benched on top of that.
Yeah, he got benched.
Against the Hornets.
He got benched because he scored too many points, or he got benched because he was playing bad.
He wasn't playing defense.
Yeah, he wasn't producing.
Man, nah, he dropped 60.
He dropped
Man,
60.
I'll gladly take that rest.
Yeah.
But guys, I mean, what you think, Jeff?
As far as winners and losers, the biggest loser on the East Coast, I would honestly say, is the Brooklyn Nets. Simply the fact that they're 11th in conference right now, and they don't own any of their picks. They own no picks.
Horrible.
They cannot be buyers. They cannot be sellers. They just have to compete to try to make sure that, hey, we can get people in free agency and show that we're a winning program. That's bad. That's my loser on the East. On the West, I would honestly say is the Warriors, but that's kind of obvious.
they
So-
aging out.
The age caught up to them. Another loser I say is the Grizzlies. All the injuries, Bane out 6 to 8 weeks, ankle, Ja Morant out for the season. Kind of sucks, but at the end, I think that's a good thing for them because they have a top 10 pick potentially, and they can add youth to their team.
But who in the draft would you feel as though is like will help them win right away?
As far as the need, I would say, I mean, honestly, a backup point guard. They don't have a real good backup point guard.
But you'll take a backup point guard for your first pick.
I think they would take a 3. I think they need a win.
Or a wing, yeah. But then again, there's a lot of wings that are from international places, and those are kind of reaches because some don't pan out.
Yeah.
So,
Well, my biggest winner is, my team, OKC. It's still
I was literally about to say them or the Timberwolves.
yeah, it's still a surprise to me that we are even as good as we are. I said we was gonna be a playing team this year.
why is it a surprise?
You were a playing team
last year, so why is it a surprise?
Everybody knew y'all was gonna be good.
We was the last playing team. So I'm
You
thinking
still got in there.
I'm thinking we was gonna be anywhere from like 6 to like 9 range, but for us to be number 2 is very surprising to me. And Chet, yes, rookie of the year.
Chet is nice.
He got to show something. He played Victor this week.
I'll say this. For the Eastern Conference, my winners are definitely the Celtics. My losers for the Eastern Conference, bro. Like, I want to say the Nets, but honestly, I'm going to say the Hawks.
Yeah,
The Hawks was my second option.
Yeah.
Because, again, everyone says they're a great team, but records show otherwise.
I don't see-
It always does.
I don't see how people. I think
Like-
people are still off the drug of what they did.
This is like they're not a good team. Like if you watch them play, they don't do anything special. They have Trae Young, but can we say Trae Young is a superstar
They want him
or
to
an all-star?
They want him to be.
He's on the verge of being a superstar, but he's an all-star.
He came. The reason why Trae Young can't be a superstar is because he's shown that he cannot carry a team.
I was about to say that.
He can.
He can't. Superstars are somebody that you know is a bona fide dog.
You're gonna be a locked in top.
If he's on, like, if you on a team, you playing against another team, he's the best person on the floor, regardless. And night in, night out, Trae Young don't look like he's the best player on the team.
Now, DeJounte Murray sometimes looks like he's like the better
He needs to
player.
leave Atlanta.
Yeah.
For sure.
He needs to leave Atlanta.
He's on the trade block.
I believe his best destination is LA.
Really?
Yes, bro. Just
I
imagine.
say take him back to the Spurs to develop Wemby.
He won't want to go back there.
He said he would want to go. He said in the press conference he would want to go back there.
Dang.
I don't know about that one.
You telling me he want to go to a team that's technically, if the playoffs start tomorrow, that's technically in the play-in, to a team that's not even fighting for last right
Do they
now?
even have 10? Do they even have 10 wins on the season?
No.
No.
8-35.
And that is what's so sad because it's like it's no reason why they should be 8-35.
I mean, there's a reason they've had Sohan at the one for a minute. There's a reason.
I can run the court better than
And
someone.
then-
There's a reason.
And then also too, it's like he does not want to pass the ball to Wemby. Like
Also true.
how's your own teammate hating on you? Like that don't even make sense.
Also true. And I think my for the Western Conference, I think my winners, like I think you said it, you took it out of my mouth. I said the Thunder because this was a team that was 10th place last year and now they're 2nd place. Shea is literally a walking bucket. Like their team just flows so well on all cylinders.
Look, it's like this, right? We have a team that is not supposed to flow. But it does. Like,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
we know Shea's gonna give you buckets regardless. Then it's like everybody else has their game where you could get Case and Wallace off the bench to give you a good 15. You get Lou Dort, who one game go for 5 points and the next game go for 26. Then you got
J-Dub.
J-Dub, who
I like J-Dub.
J-Dub
Nice.
is really I feel as though if he was on another team, he can actually be an all-star caliber player.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that he's on OKC and he has to be the 4th option, he's still
Fourth.
The 4.
Yeah.
He's 2.
He's 2. He's a second option.
I thought he was a 3.
No, Chet's the 3rd option. I'm sorry.
You think so?
Yes,
I feel
I
I'll go Shea, Chet, and then J-Dub.
J-Dub is the 2nd option because he can do a lot.
So the reason why I say J-Dub is the 4th is because Lou Dort does get a boatload of the shots.
You got Lou Dort over J-Dub.
He's a shooter.
He's a 3-and-D player. That's it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And that's not a prominent top 3 scorer in the league. I'm sorry.
Okay, I give you that.
I'm sorry.
But no,
that's
I was looking on the standpoint as far as like he gets a boatload of the shots because he is a 3-and-D 3-and-D wing.
Yeah.
So that's why that's the point that I was getting at though.
Right. I think I'll say my losers for the West, and y'all might not agree, but I say not the worst, but I say the Lakers because
Yeah.
it's like, when is it gonna shake, man?
When is that?
This is the same position they was in last year and the year before.
I mean, they showed that they can get out of it.
They
But
can, but
the
then
thing
it's
is,
like,
last year LeBron wasn't playing that many games.
and now he is. And they're still fighting that ninth. They're in that 9th, 10th,
500,
8th.
22 and 22. I mean, that's bad, but
It's bad, but it's not terrible. But it is because
I got a question. Do y'all think the Warriors should just blow everything up?
as far as even trading away Steph Curry,
Sure, yeah.
I don't know about trading away Steph
I
Curry.
don't know. I think
but
he's gonna
everybody
stay
else,
there.
yes.
I think he's gonna stay there.
So you feel as though you should build around a 34-year-old Steph Curry?
Well, not build around, but just have him there because
yeah,
the legacy he's made.
Okay, but that team is done.
No, we understand it's done.
Because I understand Steph Curry with the shooting, they was like one of the greatest teams of all time, but it's like they can't defend like they used to.
But then,
Clay
what are
is
you gonna
actually-
get? What are you gonna get? Because honestly, Clay's trade value doesn't mean anything.
Not at all.
Andrew Wiggins doesn't mean anything. Draymond for sure doesn't mean anything.
they
What else
stuck
you
with
gonna get?
Draymond. I think they stuck with Draymond.
Yeah.
Kaminga, probably not.
Kuminga-
Moses Moody,
So
nothing.
if we talk about a disappointed player, it's definitely Kuminga. Because I don't believe he's developed correctly.
Do you blame it on Coach Kerr?
I do. I don't think Steve Kerr's a good coach. I've always said that.
That's not true.
You can't tell me differently.
Bro, how is he not a good coach?
Bro,
Are you talking about like up to more recently, or are you talking about holistically?
what makes him a good coach?
Okay, so like even just from the simplest of facts that he's a 4-time champion as a coach, that says a lot, because who else is gonna coach?
I believe they had an interim head coach that came in and did the same thing Steve Kerr did, like nothing even happened.
Yeah,
and
but
they still had one of the best records in the NBA while losing their coach.
But that's
I believe
like-
they started 28-0.
But that's because of the system that was implemented by Kerr. The players just followed the system.
Yeah, when you got Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and Klay Thompson jacking up shots and making them, bro. Anybody can coach that.
I can't say that because
Not anybody can coach that.
You can't use that argument because we've seen a team like the Phoenix Suns who are also kind of like they're kind of a disappointment, and they have a great big three.
But
Doc Rivers,
No, I'm talking
Doc Rivers
about
had a
in
squad.
like in
because
years past, like last year.
if we being honest, that is Mark Jackson's team that Steve Kerr is coaching, because Mark Jackson developed them to be what they are today, and I feel as though they did Mark Jackson a major disservice by him taking them to the playoffs for the past 3 seasons, got them to their highest seed that they ever been in 6, took the Clippers all the way to 7 games and lost, and they fired Mark Jackson, and in comes Steve Kerr, 60 wins here, 60 wins there, 72 wins, and we just anointing him the greatest coach. Like,
No one's saying that he's not that he's the greatest coach. I'm simply saying he's a good coach. He is a competent coach.
Why couldn't Mark Jackson win 60 games?
because at the time them players wasn't even up to the level yet. It was
a 1-year difference. The next year they get Steve Kerr.
because that was the first time that they had their whole entire core actually together. The years before that, Steph Curry was always injured. They didn't have Andrew Bogut at the time.
2013, Steph Curry was healthy. Steve Kerr brought in a system that elevated Draymond Green's game. Steve Kerr was the one that made Draymond the point forward, that made him, the pick and roll ball handler with Steph Curry, put Steph Curry off the ball a little bit more, and that took his game to another level.
No, Mark Jackson. They was already doing that with Mark Jackson.
They wasn't doing it good enough.
He's not doing good enough.
I don't know, man. Look, all I'm saying is he is a good coach. We can't just say that he's not a good coach. There's a lot of guys in this league that are not good coaches. Steve Kerr is not one of those.
So what's
guys.
going on right now?
They're just not good.
Their team is falling apart. Like, we're literally seeing the downfall of
There's
a
no
dynasty.
chemistry.
No chemistry.
They don't even believe in
like
the culture is just bad there.
Isn't that a part of coaching?
Absolutely.
But I'm just saying though, the culture is just not there right now. Like
Coaches
it used
can
to
have
be.
down years too.
Back-to-back down years?
I mean, if you want to use that argument, we could say the same about Greg Popovich or the head coach for the Trailblazers or even the head coach for the Grizzlies. Like, having bad seasons right now, but that doesn't mean those coaches aren't good coaches. Greg Popovich is one of the greatest coaches of all time. So I think, I'm not saying Steve Kerr is the greatest, but I'm saying he's a good coach.
So that's the thing that I be thinking about basketball, right? I don't believe it's really good coaches in basketball. I just believe that the players make a coach way better than what they look like.
Whoa.
I don't believe that.
Mike
because
Malone isn't good.
Because
Eric Spo,
yeah.
Eric Spoel's a dog.
Okay then.
Ty Lue.
No.
What? No,
No.
Stop
No.
it, bro. Stop. Come on, bro.
What?
No.
Spoelstra's probably the best example. Ty Lue's another good example.
He's
but-
not a good
What do you mean he's not a good example?
I mean, he is a good example.
Oh, I was about to say he took a 2016 Cavs team. Was that not his first or second year?
First year.
First year.
Excuse me.
Yeah, Ty Lue.
Who was on that team?
Okay.
LeBron James.
LeBron, Kyrie,
Okay.
Kevin Love.
Okay.
But again, you have to that helps my argument even more, because you have to be that much better of a coach to coach players like LeBron or Kyrie.
They was 31-10 when they fired David Blatt.
Bro, but you can't. You can fall off hard in the NBA. We're literally seeing it right now.
Bro, they fired him because he lost to the Warriors. Because LeBron didn't want him there.
And LeBron won it, Ty Lue.
He wanted Ty Lue.
Thank you. So again,
So
you
Ty Lue's
have
a good coach.
You have to be a certain caliber of a coach to be able to coach a superstar like LeBron.
So-
Because if I'm a first year head coach, right? This is my first head coaching gig, and I gotta coach arguably one of the greatest players of all time. I'm gonna be shaking in my boots a little bit, because then it's like, all right, you have to not only earn his respect as a player and a player-coach relationship, but again, Ty Lue used to play against LeBron. So LeBron been dogging him since they were players, and then he has to come back and coach him. Like, it takes a special caliber of player, especially with Ty Lue and a lot of other coaches, bro. Like,
Question: what do y'all think about Adrian Griffin getting fired? Speaking about first-time coaching.
I think it's a shocker, but the Bucks have always been a strict franchise, even when it comes to their head coaching or their players that they release or the players they sign in free agency. Like, they've always been that strict. Because remember when they released Mike Budenholzer?
Yeah.
Like, that was crazy.
But it was a reason why they released Mike Budenholzer. They couldn't get over the hump.
Yeah.
But title.
They just won a title.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then that following season they fell a little bit short and then they fired him. But this is my thing with this firing.
I don't want this fire. I don't understand.
They say they didn't believe in him. They hinted it plenty of times in press conferences. Like Giannis hinted it, Chris Middleton. I don't believe Dame did, but at least those who have hinted, like, I think that's what it ultimately came down to. Giannis, the star player, the franchise player, didn't believe in his head coach, so that kind of pushed the franchise to kind of make a great decision early on in the season. Now it's just unfortunate that it comes now, but the team is 30-13, which is why it's a little bit of a head scratcher to people that might not know.
So does that make my point when I say I don't really feel as though it's that many good coaches? Then it's just good players.
It does, but it doesn't, because me and you were talking about Steve Kerr being a good coach. I said Steve Kerr was a good coach. I didn't say he was like the greatest coach of all time or one. I'm not even putting him top 5. I'm just saying he's a good, competent coach. Okay. Now, it does help your argument in the sense that, yes, there are star players, and like I said, it takes a certain caliber of a person to be able to coach a NBA champion, a person that has been the franchise player of a former organization being Damian Lillard for years, and then the rest of the team. So it takes a certain caliber of player, and it just seems like he is just not that caliber of a person.
That fire just does not make sense.
But what's crazy is Giannis vouched for him in the offseason. Yeah, he's the guy, this, that, and the third, and then a couple games
things change.
He's like, I don't think so.
That just goes to show how fast things can change in the world of sports, in any league, in any situation. Like, things can change. But again, I mean, it's a little bit of a head scratcher, because I'm curious to see who's going to be the interim coach, or if they're just going to hire like right away.
It's probably gonna be in-house 9 times out of 10.
The report's coming out that Doc Rivers looks
like that's what
Chris Haynes reported it, and if it comes from Chris Haynes, it's probably said from Damian Lillard. So I would trust that source a little bit. But as far as the firing goes,
it's still a head scratcher.
I think the Milwaukee Bucks were one of the worst defensive teams in the NBA. I think they were like bottom 8, I believe, in defensive rating.
Yeah, they can't play defense. I mean, but we've been on that since their championship team.
And another thing is, when it comes to Damian Lillard and Giannis Antetokounmpo, they're dynamic. They didn't have a seamlessly fit. They just didn't gel. Yeah, they didn't gel right. But I think that comes from the coaching, because when you have Damian Lillard, one of the best pick and roll ball handlers, and you have Giannis Antetokounmpo, one of the best players around the rim, I think you have to explore that dynamic a little bit more, because you had who was running the point last year? Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday running the point last year, running pick and rolls with Giannis, and Giannis was getting buckets at the rim. But when you add a guy like Damian Lillard to that offense, I think you can expand that a little bit more and make your offense a little bit make it even more scarier than you did last year. So if you explored that a little bit more, maybe he would have still been here. But they didn't run enough pick and rolls for the two.
What y'all think about Terry Scary going to the Heat though?
I was just about to segue into that. So for those of you who don't know, listening in, Terry Rozier has been traded to the Miami Heat for Kyle Lowry and a 2027 first round pick. What do y'all think about that?
I actually like the move, because now they got that extra score that Kyle Lowry couldn't give them.
I like the move a lot. Well, for the Charlotte Hornets side, I think Kyle Lowry will be bought out.
Yeah, he is. Probably going to New York.
I seen that he can't go to like 4 teams, I believe. I think it's the Celtics. It's a couple of the big teams that like are over the cap space, so he can't go to them. I think he can go to LA, New York, you said. Yeah. He can go to teams like that, but
LA who?
Lakers.
That would be a bad fit.
That would be a bad fit. Horrible fit.
I like the Knicks fit though as a backup PG. But Deuce McBride's been playing really good basketball. But as far as the Heat, I think adding Terry Rozier gives you, I don't know if he's going to start or is he coming off the bench?
He's going to start.
So they're going to start Rozier, Hero, Butler, Bam. Martin.
I think Hero.
Martin, Caleb Martin, yeah.
Okay.
I think Hero should start coming off the bench.
He used to start.
Yeah,
coming off the bench.
that was it. That's when he played the best.
He could easily take the 4th spot, easily, just with this Terry Rozier trade, easily.
I think they can come out the East. I mean, not come out my bad. I'm tripping.
Come out the East.
I think they can make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. My bad.
Okay.
I think that's a little bit.
Even that.
How?
I think they can beat Philly. I think
They match up well with Philly.
I think.
Well, if Philly makes another move, which they can, they might not be able to beat them. But if they don't make a move, oh yeah, they're beating Philly.
Okay, 5.5 games back at 3 seed. So I think that they'll catch the 4th seed if possible, if they stay healthy, gel together. So if the playoffs stay where it's at, though, they play Philly first round. I think they can beat Philly.
And Terry Rozier fits Heat culture.
Absolutely.
Terry Rozier is Heat culture.
I think it's a good trade for the Heat. Do I think they're gonna make it out the East or make it to the conference finals? Nah, I don't think so.
Hey, playoff Jimmy is a different person.
That's what I'm saying.
If they don't play Boston in the second round, I think they can make to the Eastern Conference Finals.
I don't even like Boston.
Because they can sneak up on the Bucks. Honestly, they can easily sneak up on the Bucks.
Yeah,
Boston with the turnovers.
I'm excited. I miss playoff basketball, man.
Yeah, definitely do. I don't think. I think this might be a surprise. I don't think the Lakers might make the playoffs.
They're not.
Surprise.
Yeah, I don't think they are, but
You know, LeBron's still there. LeBron's still there, so you never bet against LeBron.
Yeah, I mean they was able to make a little playing run, but we'll see. I think as is the Eastern Conference 1 through 10. I think these are going to be the teams in the mix. Now I don't know what order, but I think it's going to be those teams in the mix right there.
So you think the Hawks gonna take that last spot?
Probably.
Yeah, they hit.
Probably. They're like they're not. It either maybe okay. The only team I could see coming
say the
in there.
Raptors, but like the Raptors just lost badly to the Grizzlies.
Yeah, bro. No, they're not good. But we'll see because the only team I could see probably hopping in there is probably Brooklyn.
Brooklyn,
They're only a half a game
Yeah, I'm
back.
gonna say they only have a game.
but they just haven't been looking the best.
If Atlanta trade DeJounte, I don't.
Yeah, if that's if Atlanta doesn't trade.
I think they
DeJounte Murray.
need to though. For them to
need to.
actually start winning, they
They'll
need to
trade
trade
him.
DeJounte.
They're gonna trade him.
Everybody, what I've heard was everybody's on the table other than Jalen Johnson
And Trey.
and Trey. Yeah, Jalen Johnson, Trey Young, everybody's on the table, and I don't see why they shouldn't be on the table.
Let me ask y'all this: would DeJounte Murray make sense in OKC?
No,
Absolutely.
Why?
Man.
no,
It's the defense. Like you trade him and
Nah, because
because they're gonna probably want Lou Dort and Josh Giddey,
yeah,
and then they might just drop Josh Giddey. But
yeah, and Murray plays. He's a little ball dominant for me.
and Shea needs that ball.
So where would be the best fit for DeJounte Murray? I say LA, but y'all say no.
The Lakers?
Yeah.
I could see him in LA. He's a scorer. They need more
What
scoring.
about Toronto?
No, they got too many
Nah,
guards.
they got too many guards, too deep.
Nah, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell.
But
The Suns?
LA makes sense.
The Suns don't got enough.
Phoenix makes sense.
An ideal spot for me for DeJounte is not going to happen because of the cap situation, and I don't think they have the assets, but Miami. I like that fit.
Ooh.
It's not possible, but Miami.
I thought you was gonna say Orlando for a second.
Nah.
I'm just saying. I can't. That's unrealistic. I just thought that's what he was going to say.
Okay, yeah. Just say that. Unrealistic. Say that. Say that.
You know, him and Paolo would be fighting in practice every day. Literally.
Ever since he got traded from Atlanta, he just been mad.
I'd be mad too. Did all that talking. They have a losing record. Guys, that's going to wrap up the end of this show, man. Appreciate y'all the guys in the studio. Appreciate y'all listening in. We're going to get into my favorite part of the show, which is shout outs. First and foremost, I want to shout out the guys in the studio. Y'all are great. I love talking sports with y'all every week. Even in our group chat be going crazy every day. Shout out to Jeff. I call him Adrian Wojnarowski Jr. He always sending the news and everything like that, keeping me up to date and everything. Shout out to Country. My boy, we not gonna see eye to eye on a lot of things, but my boy, he be giving me a different perspective, and I respect that. And Trim, man, Miami, they suck. Orlando, we don't suck. You know what I'm saying? You know, my Orlando guy. But I want to shout out God first and foremost. Thank you, God, for everything you're doing in my life. Thank you for blessing the guys in the studio with me. You know, I'm coming down to my last couple months, man. I take every show with a grain of salt. Never want to take it for granted. And, you know, shout out to my mom. Love your mama if you're listening out there. And we're going to throw it up to Trim.
First and foremost, I want to thank my Lord and Savior. Without him, obviously, I wouldn't be able to do what I do what I love. So all thanks go to him. Second, I want to thank my parents, you know, for motivating me and believing in me. Last but not least, I want to thank the guys in the studio, for pushing me to become greater things in life.
I just want to thank everybody that gave me this opportunity. I want to thank God for even giving me this blessing to even be here. And I just want to thank the guys in the studio. Every day we always had something to talk about. The guy to my right, Jeff, the little 49ers guy. Then you got the guy to my left,
Yes,
my good man, Trim, the biggest Pat Mahomes fan. And I'm all, the most respectable Bucks fan. So, you got to show love to everybody from the 813 to the 850 to the 305 back to the 225. You heard me?
407.
So you said my bad, 407 and
404.
404. Got
301.
and 301, 202. Everybody everywhere that's listening and showing love. We just want to continue to thank y'all and just stay blessed. You heard me?
Shout out God, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Shout out to the family back home. Shout out to the guys in the studio. Constantly getting on me every time I get in the group chat, but big dub, Brock Purdy. And anyways, and shout out to my friends back at home, just tuning in, just tapping in. Appreciate y'all.
Let me ask y'all this, fans. Jeff does not say anything in the chat when the 49ers lose.
Ahmad, do I talk?
But
do I talk when the 49ers play? Ahmad, answer the question. Do I talk when the 49ers play?
Nah, he's quiet.
When they lose,
He's
I don't
still
say
quiet.
nothing. If they win,
He
I say
starts
something.
talking.
He take,
But y'all provoke me to say something. I don't say nothing.
We don't provoke you to say anything.
it's just that one time when they did. I think what game was that?
The
earlier
Eagles?
this season? Yes, bro. They lost badly to. Wait, no.
No.
They lost badly to somebody this year.
The Ravens.
Bro, they lost badly to somebody.
We didn't hear from Jeff for a whole week.
That man was ducking punishment.
He didn't even come. He
bruh.
didn't even come to the show.
That's one thing about Jeff. Jeff gonna duck that punishment, bro.
I remember when I had to hear this man Jeff over the text message, sending voice memo when the Cowboys and 49ers was playing. I'm like, bro, shut up. Like, what are you like? Y'all
Because I
winning.
was getting beat. If they're not handling business, I'm not gonna say nothing. If they're handling business, I'm gonna talk.
Man,
That's it.
Jeff a funny guy, man. I hope for his sake that the 49ers handle business.
Yeah.
But if not,
But nah,
I mean, he
for
gonna hear
our
from
sake,
us.
from our sake, I hope the 49ers lose.
But y'all can't say nothing anymore.
Fair
Y'all
enough.
can't.
I gave Brock Purdy his props.
Y'all can't say
We
nothing no
definitely
more.
gave Rob Purdy his
I gave him
props.
his props on the show today. Y'all all heard it. Anytime there's Brock Purdy slander, just make sure Ahmad gave him his credit. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I gave him his credit too. Some other people saying that Mac Jones is better than Brock Purdy. We ain't gonna say no names.
That's interesting.
Crazy. We could be here all day, but guys, it's gonna be the end of the episode. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, listening in to our sports takes. This was recorded at Florida A&M University in the studio of WANM 90.5. Again, this is your host, Mr. 813 Ahmad Kibi, and we'll see y'all next week. Peace.